Hello friends, let's have the discuss of NTA mock test 109. बात करते हैं यहाँ पर क्वेश्चन नंबर फर्स्ट की फ्रॉम द फॉलोइंग ऑप्शंस इनकरेक्टली मैच यहाँ पर ढूंढना है। तो मोलस्का वाइला ओके एप्लाइसिया दोनों पाए जाते हैं। अनसेग्मेंटेड बॉडी होती है यूजुअली डायोसियस एंड ओविपेरस एंड इनडायरेक्ट डेवलपमेंट होता है इसमें और लार्वा स्टेज देखने को मिलती हैं इसलिए इनडायरेक्ट डेवलपमेंट होता है। उसके बाद बात करते हैं ऑप्शन सेकंड की फाइलम इकाइनोडर्मेटा की बात करते हैं। एंटीडॉन पाया जाता है ओके। स्कीटरी सिस्टम्स एब्सेंट होता है। फर्टिलाइजेशन एक्सटर्नल एंड डेवलपमेंट इनडायरेक्ट होता है ये भी करेक्ट है। बट हेमी कॉर्डेटा स्पेलेनोग्लॉसिस होता है साइकोग्लॉसिस भी होता है बट ड्यूट्रोस्टोमिक नॉट फॉर ड्यूट्रोस्टोमिक आर इंक्लूडेड इन द फाइलम कॉर्डेटा नो। फिर आस्क्लेमेंटिस आल्सो रिलेट फॉर उसरेरिया और एनसाइक्लोस्टोमा। उसके बाद की कैरेक्टर्स की बात करते हैं डायोसिस होता है ऑफन द फीमेल्स आर लॉन्गर देन मेल्स ये भी करेक्ट है। क्वेश्चन नंबर सेकंड की बात करते हैं। यहाँ पर चूज द मिस मैच फेयर विद द रिस्पेक्ट टू द नेम सोर्स एंड एक्शंस ऑफ द ड्रग्स। मिस मैच यहाँ पर ढूंढना है। कोकेन इरेथ्रोजाइलोन कोका ओके एक्ट और द स्टिमुलेंट एंड इंटरफेयर्स विद द ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफ डोपामीन ये करेक्ट है। फिर मॉर्फिन की बात करते हैं लैटेक्स ऑफ द पापेट सोमनिफेरम रिलीव्स पेन ये भी करेक्ट है। फिर विन क्रिस्टियंस रोजी पेरीविंकल्स टू ट्रीट चाइल्डहुड ल्यूकेमिया ये भी करेक्ट है। एम्फिटामिन सिंथेटिक्स एनालॉग ऑफ स्टाइल कोलिन स्टिमुलेंट नो। क्वेश्चन थर्ड व्हाट इज इनकरेक्ट अबाउट HIV ओके HIV infects helper T cells with CD4 receptors and automatically kills them okay. HIV does not ruptures and kills the macrophages it infects. They are HIV factory. HIV mainly spreads by sexual contact ये भी correct है but HIV can also be transmitted through the toilets it's no. Question number 4 in passive immunity creations of antibodies is by formations ये करेक्ट है। और यहाँ पर बात की जाए अगर पैसिव इम्यूनिटी में क्या होता है कि बनी बनाई एंटीबॉडी जो होती है बॉडी के अंदर इंजेक्ट कर दी जाती लाइक एज इंजेक्शंस। क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 आइडेंटिफाई द रॉन्ग मैच फ्रॉम द फॉलोइंग्स। साइक्लोस्पोरिन ए है ये ट्राइकोडर्मा पॉलीस्पोरिन एज इम्यूनोसप्रेसेंट यूज़ की जाती है। फिर स्टैटिन की बात की स्टैटिन इज आल्सो मोलास्कस परफीरिया से प्राप्त होती है ये ब्लड कोलेस्ट्रॉल लोअरिंग एजेंट की तरह काम होती है। उसके बाद सिट्रिक एसिड एस्पर्जिलस नाइगर प्रोड्यूस से प्रोड्यूस होता है सिट्रिक एसिड। फिर क्लॉट बस्टर एस्टेफाइलोकोकस नो स्ट्रेप्टोकोकस ये क्लॉट बस्टर होता है। क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 व्हिच आर द फॉलोइंग्स इज रिलेटेड टू द आर्क्यू ऑफ फैट more use of oxygen than evolved CO2. Question number 7 find out the correct statements regarding Darwinisms. All the existing life forms share similarities to varying degrees and also may share common ancestors. Okay. Question number 8 which of the following options is the correct match regarding national parks? Corbett National Park for Uttarakhand tiger. Question number 9 biodiversity is rich in tropical areas. Select the correct options related to the statements warm temperatures and high humidity for relatively constant and undisturbed environment conditions। फिर बात करते हैं सी की beings more productive as they receive more solar radiation ये भी करेक्ट है यानी all of these are correct। Question number 10 the sequence of nucleotides in the DNA stands for adenine thymine adenine। आरएनए की बात करते हैं आरएनए में सिर्फ एडनिन की जगह पर यूरेसिल आ जाता है ओके। एडनिन के फिर यूरेसिल के बाद थायमिन एडनिन ग्वानिन साइटोसिन साइटोसिन टू ग्वानिन थायमिन एडनिन फिर एडनिन की जगह यूरेसिल ओके। ग्वानिन साइटोसिन यानी 5.3 प्राइम ओके। क्वेश्चन 11 मेल एंड फीमेल सेक्स ऑर्गन्स मैच्योर्स एट डिफरेंट टाइम्स नेम द फिनोमेना ऑफ dichonogamy। Question number 12 what caused the formations of continuous water column in the xylem during transpiration spool cohesion and adhesion forces। Question number 13. In which of the following options do all the three columns match correctly? Zostera for hydrophily, filamentous pollen grains. Question number 14. An examples of levorotatory sugars is fructose. Question number 15. Identify the false statements from the following. False, okay. Living state is a non-equilibrium steady state that is not to ever perform. Incorrect. Cellulose is a straight chain polymer, so it does not give any color with the iodine solution. Question number 16. An ideal contraceptive has all the following features except loss of libido. Question 17. The hormones which is also known as milk ejection factor is oxytocin. Question 18. All of the following are cranial bones except zygomatic bones. Question 19. The process by which mature spermatids are released from cytolized cells into the seminiferous tubules lumen prior to their passage to the epididymis is spermiation. Question 20. Which is the most abundant neurons in the cerebral cortex? Multipolar neurons. Question 21. The site of tRNA to which amino acids bind is 3' int. Question 22. And examples of axillary buds are the eyes of potato tubers. Question 23. The decisions regarding validity of gene-modified research and the safety of introducing gene-modified organisms for public services are taken by Genetic Engineering Approval Committee. Question 24. Identify the correct options for the active transport requires energy. Question 25. Which of these regulates the opening and closing of stomata, change in turgor pressure of guard cells? Question 26. Polysomes is several ribosomes attached to a single mRNA. Question 27. The chemical compositions of the algal cell's wall include cellulose, galactans, and mannans. Question 28. Structures that help in spores dispersal of fern is stomium. Question 29. Where can you find high telomerase activity of actively dividing mitotic cells, tumor cells? Question 30. The correct way to write the scientific name of mango is Mangifera indica. Question 31. Question 32. For a predator's food chain on a tree, the shape of pyramids of number is spindle shaped. Question 33. In which kind of organism's life cycle do you find that the zygote develops a thick wall to resist desiccations and damage haplontic? Question 34. Offset in a plant helps in vegetative propagations in aquatic plants. Question 35. Which reproductive techniques can be used in females who are incapable of producing an ova but can provide appropriate environment for fertilization and development for gift? Question 36. Correct match करना है. Man is also related for plasma colorless and enucleated RBC. फिर अर्थवॉर्म की बात करते हैं. अर्थवॉर्म इज आल्सो रिलेटेड फॉर प्लाज्मा रेड एंड कलरलेस ब्लड कैप्सूल्स. फिर कॉकरोच इज आल्सो रिलेटेड फॉर प्लाज्मा एंड सेल्स आर कलरलेस. फिर फ्रॉग इज आल्सो रिलेटेड फॉर प्लाज्मा कलरलेस एंड न्यूक्लिएटेड आरबीसीज. क्वेश्चन 37. What can be the possible reasons for fossils X being older than fossils Y? Fossils X was found in deeper sediments. Question number 38. Read the following statements about blood and select the correct options. A fluid connective tissue is composed of a fluid, plasma, and the cells. The cells corpuscles a slightly alkaline fluid having pH 7.4 will consist of 90 to 92% water and 8% solids. Question 39. To overcome inbreeding depressions, which of the following techniques can be implemented? Selected animals should be mated with unrelated superior animals of the same breeds. Question of 40. The electrodes in electrostatic precipitators are used to produce a corona that the releases of electrons. Question of 41. Cuscuta is also released for hostial roots. For rhizophora is also released for respiratory root. For vanda is for stilt root. Vada for stilt root no. Pandanus is also stilt root. उसके vanda also hygroscopic root होती है. Question of 42. यहाँ पर करेक्ट मैच बताना है, इनकरेक्ट मैच बताना. ओके. साइक्लोस्पोरिन ए इज यूज्ड एज अ क्लॉट बस्टर. नो, एज अ इम्यूनोसप्रेसेंट यूज करते हैं. फिर विस्की ब्रांडी एंड रम आर प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय डिस्टिलेशन ऑफ फर्मेंटेड ब्रॉथ. ये करेक्ट है. एनपीवी आर द मेजर बैक्लोवायरसेस used as biological control agents. ये करेक्ट है. The biogas production technology in India is developed by genetic engineering approval committee. नो, दो इनकरेक्ट हैं. फिर बात करते हैं यहाँ पर क्वेश्चन नंबर 43 की. इन ट्रांसक्रिप्शन प्रोसेस strands whose sequence is similar to mRNA is called as coding strand. क्वेश्चन नंबर 44. ये जो डायग्राम दिया है फेबेसी फैमिली का डायडेल्फस. क्वेश्चन नंबर 45. मोनोकॉट्स दैट सोस रेटिकुलेट वेनेसस इज आल्सो स्माइलेक्स. क्वेश्चन नंबर 41. If the V and L are completely linked, find out of the types of gametes that will be produced from a microspore mother cells with BL and BL genotypes for 2. Question of 47. All of the following are correct matches except Amencelisms, epiphytic orchids on a mango tree, Commensalism, sea anemone and clownfish, mutualisms, mycorrhiza, root of plants, co-evolutions for fig and wasp. Question of 48. Which are the following morphological or physiological features of plants imparts resistance to acids in cotton, hairy leaves? Question of 49. What is the main reasons for increased stability of DNA in comparison to RNA? Presence of thymine in place of uracil. ये तो RNA में होता है. Okay. Presence of hydrogen bond. Okay. Stacking of base pairs on above the others. No. यानी कि more than one option is correct. Question 50. The synapsed pair of homologous chromosomes forming a bivalent is observed in which of the following stages of meiosis? Zygote. Question 51. The plant materials which is resistant to any physical and chemical degradations is sporopollenin. Question 42. Why the conduction of a nerve impulse is faster in myelinated nerve fibers? Notes of Ranvier, उसके बाद saltary conduction. Okay. Presence of myelin sheath. देखा जाए तो सारे के सारे करेक्ट हैं. Question 53. If a well-fed infant below 1 year of age for 1 year is okay, marasmus produce proteases enzymes, then the infants may suffer from marasmus. Marasmus में क्या होता है? प्रोटीन और कार्बोहाइड्रेट दोनों की डेफिशिएंसी होती है. Question number 54. Taylor conducted his experiments on his organisms to prove the semi-conservative mode of DNA replication via fava or fava beans. Question number 55. When did the dinosaurs become extinct? 65 million years ago. Question number 56. An improved tall plants, okay, crossed with a pure dwarf plant cell. Calculate ratio of tall and dwarf plants for percentage of pure tall plants, ratio of homozygous and heterozygous offspring. Option B is more correct. ये डायरेक्ट एनसीईआरटी का डायग्राम दिया हुआ है. हाइड्रोपोनिक्स को रिप्रेजेंट करता है. हाइड्रोपोनिक्स आल्सो गिवन बाय जूलियस फॉन सैक्स इन 1860 में शायद या 1864 को समथिंग. क्वेश्चन नंबर 58. Which of the following is a functions of auxins? Parthenocarpy in tomatoes or flowering in pineapples? Question 59. In which layer the bundle's cap is present in the sunflower stem's pericycle? Question 60. Ringworm is a fungal disease. It can not be caused by claviceps, but microsporums or trichoderma phyton ये फंगल चीज कॉज करने के फैक्टर है. Question number 61. Name the process by which mature spermatids are released from the cytolite cells into the seminiferous tubules. Spermiation. Question number 62. यहाँ पर fill up करना है. During a cardiac cycles, each ventricle pumps out approximately 70 milliliter of blood, which is called as semilunar valves. The first heart sound lub is associated with the closer of C is also closer of for semilunar valve. Okay, where is the second heart sound dub is associated with the closer of semilunar valve. Okay, ये correct है. Question number 63. A patient comes with a chief complaints that his feces are retained. Retained से पता चल जाता है कि constipation. Question number 64. The origins of signals for parturitions is fully developed fetus and placenta. Question number 65. A and B chains of insulin is linked by which bond? Disulfide bonds. Question number 66. Not correct with codominance. Okay. The two alleles of gene expresses equally. Okay. Not correct with F2 phenotype and genotype ratio same. That is 1:2:1, where can be exemplified by sickle cell anemia also. फिर F1 progenies do not resembles both of the parents. Incorrect है. Question number 67. Which of the following is not correctly matched regarding the recently extinctions of animals and its place? Dodo indiano for Mauritius, Quagga Africa, Thylacines Australia, Steller Sea of Russia. Question number 68. The interface nucleus is devoid of highly condensed nucleoprotein fibers. Question number 69. Which of the following is an incorrect pairing? Incorrect pairing for Locusta, lac insecno, Ascaris muscularis, muscular pharynx, limulus, limb fossils, and cyclostoma hookworms. Question number 70. Select the options with the animals not showing cellular level of organizations. Tinoflana, no. Cycon, Euspongia, Spongilla. Question number 71. Select the options that is correct for Anabina and Azospirilla. Biofertilizers which are used by the farmers regularly in their fields by replenish soil nutrients. No, this is correct है. Question number 72. Dessert snacks are primarily uricotelic. Question number 73. Normally, which one of the following is completely absorbed in the nephron? Glucose. Question number 74. Identify the correct match करना है यहाँ पर. Prokaryotes mitochondria is absent. Okay. But prokaryotes mesosomes are present which help in respiration. दोनों correct है but not correct explanation. Question number 75. Unaffected sons will be obtained in the cross. Question number 66. 76. ये जो दिए हैं outer layer. Okay. फिर भी soft and lighter in color. But C is not for B. B is also represented for mechanical in functions due to the depositions of metabolites and tyloses. Question number 77. यहाँ पर correct match करना है. Composed of living cells. Living cells also provide mechanical strength. Composed of that. फिर wall compresses for the angular thickness. For skeleton and chyma is also related for composed. Question number 78. What do you mean by the greenhouse effect, a natural phenomenon that maintains Earth temperature's range? Question number 79. Which of the following is the applications of lichens bioindicator for air pollutions? Question number 80. The pathway taken by water through the endodermis is symplastic. Question number 81. Which of the following tissues types types are included in glandular epithelia and are responsible for the secretory activity, columnar and cuboidal. Question number 82. The diagrams given below is of the connective tissue. Select the place where such tissues is present from the following options. Skin. Question number 83. At which place of the fallopian tubes does the cleavage of zygote begins? Isthmus. No. Question number 84. Hybridizations Mendel's used was Mendel choose the correct statement. Emasculation of female parent is required. Question 85. Gastrovascular cavity is present in Hydra. Question 86. Highest partial pressures of oxygen can be observed in whole blood. Question 87. Which of the following conditions can cause tetany, hypoparathyroidism? Question 88. Out of the hormones listed below, the ovulations and the development of corpus luteum is controlled by luteinizing hormone. Question 89. Which of the following plant can thrive in acidic soils? Oxylophytes. Question 90. Find out the incorrect evolutionary trend related to flowers structures from the following: wind pollinations, insect pollinations, करेक्ट है. सिंगल सीडेड फ्रूट्स, मल्टीपल सीडेड फ्रूट्स, करेक्ट है. फिर क्रॉस proximity of carpels and stamens separate sexes. No. Ovules open, okay. Protected ovules and cones, करेक्ट है. और इस प्रकार पे 90 क्वेश्चन कंप्लीट होते हैं. आई होप आप लोगों को वीडियो पसंद आई होगी, तो प्लीज़ वीडियो को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लाइक एंड शेयर करें. और प्लीज़ जिन लोगों ने अभी तक चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया, प्लीज़ वो लोग चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लें. प्लीज़ भाई सब्सक्राइब कर लें आप लोग. थैंक यू सो मच वॉच फॉर दिस वीडियो और मिलते हैं जल्दी एक नई वीडियो के साथ.